Hi, hello, my name is Hyun-Go Han. Today's topic is the, the possibility of supercontinuum generation in gas-filled hollow core fiber decay media. I will deal with the basic theory of nonlinear optics and supercontinuum generation in optical fiber, and finally we will get the possibility of UV generation using SGG. First, I will talk about the nonlinear polarization. The polarization can be represented by the Taylor series form, and the second term would be neglected due to the center symmetry of fiber structure. So the nonlinear response term becomes important when it comes to the high power condition, because fiber laser has some high intensity and it causes the nonlinear effects. Nonlinear effects means in frequency domain, the input and output spectra have some change. So it can be used to wavelength conversion. And there is also linear effects. It is called group velocity dispersion, GVD. And it can be also represented by the Taylor series of the propagation coefficient. Beta 1 means group velocity occurs, and beta 2 means frequency dependency of group velocity. So there are two cases. If beta 2 is positive, then it is called normal dispersion because the longer wavelength called red is faster than the slow one named blue. The red is faster than blue, and it is called the normal dispersion. And the opposite case is called anomalous dispersion. Both of case causes the broadening of pulses because they have some changes in difference in velocity, so the pulse is broadened. Also, there is nonlinear effects. There are some nonlinear effects. First one is self-phase modulation, SPM. That means high intensity modulates the refractive index. And you can see the graph. There is also broadening, but the axis is frequency. So SPM causes spectral broadening. And there are also other nonlinear effects, wave mixing and Raman scattering, and so on. Wave mixing means there are many, if there is some nonlinearities, then there would be many waves with different frequencies, and they can interact together, each other, and there will be some phase matched condition. Then the wave mixing occurs, and it causes frequency shifts, generating many frequencies. And also there is Raman scattering. It is a kind of time-dependent response of material. It interacts with phonon, and there are two ways of interaction, Stokes and anti-Stokes. But the nature favors the Stokes effect, Stokes shift, meaning redshift. And the mathematical form is given by the Maxwell equation. The original Maxwell equation can be transformed to NLSE, nonlinear Schrödinger equation, in optical fiber. The polarization term can be represented by that, and there are many terms: GBD, SPM, Raman, Steps-Stepney. One solution of the nonlinear Schrödinger equation is soliton, but it occurs in only such a in special condition. If GBD, if the effect of GBD is equal to the nonlinear effects like SPM, then pulse broadening and compressing makes an equivalent state, and it is called soliton. But it only occurs when the dispersion is negative. Beta 2 is negative. SPM is originated from the modulation instability. It means when continuous wave is injected, then it undergoes modulation instability and it becomes a pulse. It becomes pulses, and soliton is the stable state, eigenstate. Then the pulse becomes solitons and other waves called dispersive waves. So soliton makes soliton fissions and generates many dispersive waves, and they are important in generating supercontinuum generation. Supercontinuum generation means the spectra of pulse becomes really broadened, and not just broadened, but it is also flat. And I will show one way of getting SGG. There might be Raman scattering, and it causes redshift peak and dispersive waves from soliton. The dispersive wave appears in the blue shift region. Its frequency is higher than the original soliton, and the dispersive waves are in background, and the background dispersive waves interact with other waves. If wave matching conditions satisfied, and the wave mixing occurs, and it fills the Raman peaks, the interval of Raman peaks, so the spectral shape becomes broadened, and in the point of the spectral broadening, there are some possibilities of pulse UV generation, and UV is quite useful because there are many usages of UV, such as manufacturing semiconductors and so on. However, UV is hard to be obtained. There is a research about soliton blue shift in tapered P-shape. Supercontinuum generation, when supercontinuum generation, the dispersion profile is quite important, and soliton blue shift also depends on the dispersion profile. The authors modulated the zero dispersion wavelengths, and in the picture left one, the anomalous region, there can be only at anomalous dispersion region the soliton can exist, and this partial wave generate is generated near the zero dispersion wavelength. So if the zero dispersion wavelength goes to short wavelengths, then it is much it would be much easier to get UV wavelengths. Anyway, due to the anomalous dispersion region, soliton moves along the zero dispersion wavelength lines inside the region, and there is soliton fission. So the short wavelength component appears, and soliton blue shift with dispersion wave generates the UV region waves. Also, UV generation can be possible at hollow core fiber, but it is filled with gas, noble gas such as argon, helium, and so on. The core is empty, so high-energy pulse can be in the HCF, and it passes the air, so there are no Raman redshift, and the dispersion profile can be controlled by gas pressure, and the author modulate the profile and found some efficient regeneration profile. Also, there is a research about photoionization. High intensity light causes ionization of field gas in each shape. And LSC with photoionization is given by red. And there are two. We have to notice the last two terms. The first one is Raman redshift, and it is the derivative of the intensity, and the blue shift is represented by integration of the intensity. So it is opposite. It has opposite direction in Fourier domain. So if the Raman causes red shift, then the integration would make blue shift. So it is the mathematical, theoretical background of photoionization soliton blue shift. But it is restricted by the energy losses due to the ionization. The light loses energy to ionize the materials, and it can be compensated by gain. There is a research in our group. The gain looked P-shape by P-shape. We usually treat rare earth ion, and it obeys the Maxwell-Blow equation. It can be represented by Maxwell-Blow equation. The motivation is supercontinuum has very wide broadband spectral profile, and if there is the amplification of broadband has to be investigated. The theoretical motivation is the self-consistency of treating polarization. Both of Maxwell-Blow equation, Blow equation and Maxwell equation have polarization term, but in Maxwell equation's case, the polarization is macroscopic, and the interaction of light and matter, the polarization means the microscopic polarization. However, macroscopic polarization can be summed and averaged. The microscopic polarization anyway, the author of, obtained the frequency dependent gain even by like that, and I changed and I made some approximation to get some integration form of intensity. If you can get generalized NLSC with gain and photoionization. The last two terms are the gain and photoionization, and it can be simplified the third equation, and the red terms are the integration of intensity, and the first the first term of the two red terms is from the gain effect, and the last one is originates from the photoionization effect. And the integration means the soliton blue shift. Then the integration from the gain also can cause the soliton blue shift. Furthermore, gain compensates loss due to the ionization. Then the gain will assist the soliton blue shift, and it will be much easier to get UV in HCF. So SCG can be a way of obtaining broadband source or UV pulse, and gas-filled HCF with medium is expected to make the UV pulse generation efficient. However, there are some issues to overcome. Difficulty of gain doping at HCF. Frankly speaking, making HCF is very, very difficult. However, if we doping the gain on the HCF, it will be much more difficult to make it. And I think the doping the gain media can be in the wall of the HCF, so it is apart from the center of the pulse, so the light overlap would be much lower than the normal condition, and it is quite difficult to searching for proper gain media because the rare ion cannot support the short wavelengths like 800 nanometers, which can be obtained from the Thai sapphire laser. First, I thought that if the gas media can support that wavelength, I think it will be good. However, the gas laser cannot generate such wavelengths I need. So I think it's quite difficult to find the proper gain media. And from those reasons, it can be done only by numerical approach. So there are some problems to overcome. Thank you for listening. Thank you.